Noelle Silva is truly a tragic character in the world of Black Clover. Her mother dying, giving birth to her, and then being shunned as the ugly duckling for the rest of her life. Her siblings treating her like nothing, spearheaded by the eldest brother, Noelle. Even worse, her own father treated her like she was nothing, and was seemingly absent from the majority of her life. Sadly, this isn't actually her father. This is her father, the Sea God. There's actually so much evidence for this that Tabata has been littering in the series of the Black Clover manga for many years. So much as starting as over 200 chapters ago in the Seabed Temple arc, when Giftso called her an incarnate of the sea god and dubbed her a goddess. My second point in this video will really convince you that Noelle is actually a demi-goddess. While many theorize this god to be Poseidon, I have an alternate theory as to who this is. Let's get into it, friends. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Broku. Thanks so much for all the support. It really does mean a lot. If you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like. Let's shoot for 2,000. I like that new goal for my theories. Also, subscribe, turn notifications. You can also join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. But, speaking of sea gods and sea temples, there are probably other kingdoms out there with insane barrier spells that keep outsiders from sneaking in. These other kingdoms can have great entertainment and education locked behind these barriers. You want more access to other cultures and to do it safely? Well, use this spell. Here, it's called NordVPN magic. Code Broku. Follow my link below in the description and use code Broku to get access to NordVPN for 2 years on discount and an additional month for free. Protect your private data from the curses of corporations or explore the cultures of other kingdoms with NordVPN. It's very easy to use and very fast. NordVPN is the fastest VPN out there. Light magic? Pfft, not even close to the speed of NordVPN. Get NordVPN now on every major platform: Windows, Android, iOS, macOS, and Linux, with up to 6 of your devices. Don't forget, link is in the description below, and use the code BROKU. Okay guys, let me start with convincing you on Noelle being the daughter of the sea god, thus making her a demi-goddess. The first point is quite obvious, and that is just going directly back to the Seabed Temple arc. In this arc, Noelle will get a huge power development, finally gaining an attack spell, the Sea Dragon's Roar. This attack spell was so powerful that it ripped Vetso in half and caused for people to think that she was the sea god. And then Giftso, the head priest at the Seabed Temple, called her the sea god incarnate, before changing his wording to her actual being, a goddess. This is actually very interesting phrasing for Tabata for choosing to say that here. Her powers weren't just super strong. They were recognized as powers from the sea god. The head priest recognized it as the same as the sea god before changing his phrasing to her being her own goddess. This doesn't make much sense at all, but if you look at it from the aspect of her actually being the daughter of this sea god, it explains quite a bit. The knowledge of the priests of the Seabed Temple should not be taken lightly nor brushed aside. They literally worship this sea god. And Gio, the father of Kiyoto and Kahona, is a priest and is the strongest in the temple. He uses spells called the Sea God Hammer and Sea God Shield, thus proving he has gained powers from the sea god due to his worship. Giftso is at an even higher level of priesthood, so him recognizing Noelle as a sea god incarnate and a goddess is damning for this theory because his opinion should be valid and trustworthy. Though this is evidence, it's not nearly convincing enough to make this theory stand on its own. Trust me when I say there is far more evidence than this, so stick around to be blown. Have your mind blown. The next point I'm going to tackle is sure to do that for you. For one, we barely see Noelle's presumed father in the series. He was absolutely rude to her and called her useless. I wonder if this is because he knew the Asier had cheated on him with that of an actual god. I mean, even though Papa Silva sounds like a huge dick, can you imagine your wife cheating on you with a huge god? I kind of feel bad for this guy if this theory is true, but it would explain something quite well. Why Noelle looks nothing like her father, even though all of her siblings at least take some traits from him. Solid, Nebra, and Noelle have the similar wavy top of the hair as their father, as the wavy top of the hair is shown in his silhouette. But Noelle just looks exactly like Asier. Is this because she's a human-god hybrid? And like Charmy, will have a different appearance when she activates this hybrid state. This would also explain Noelle's mysterious powers. Despite being the youngest sibling, she has surpassed all of them in power. Noelle has displayed greater feats than even Noelle, an established Magic Knight captain, and she fought a much stronger version of Vanica than her mother Asier did, thus making it a possibility that despite being only 17 years old, she may have surpassed her mother's own legendary power. This only makes sense if she is a demigod, because remember, she didn't really work that hard on her magic power until she joined the Black Bulls. It would be a statistical anomaly for her to surpass her siblings and own mother so rapidly if she wasn't actually a daughter of a god. And more importantly almost, Noelle needs a massive power-up to compete in this arc, after being too weak for even a 70% Vanica, though she could still partially dodge her attacks and even make her bleed. But Vanica is now at 100% devil power, and we know that when she has just a 1% increase in power, it is huge. So Vanica got 30 different massive amps in power, and actually, Magicula should be drastically far above even that of 100% Vanica. I don't think just ultimate magic will be enough to defeat Magicula for Noelle, but if she pairs it with her hybrid state, or even uses ultimate magic to access the hybrid state, that should suffice, as ultimate magic allows one to become acquainted with the origin of souls, and allows one to draw even closer to mana. With the use of ultimate magic, it makes it very possible that Noelle will use ultimate magic to actually access her hybrid state, thus allowing her to access divine powers and defeat Magicula, becoming the third and final of the Light Triad to use divine magic, falling in line with Yuno and Asta. But back to that point of the Light Triad using god powers later in this video, so stay tuned for that, because that is a very interesting part of this theory. The next part of my theory is discussing who actually this sea god is, and I believe it actually is not Poseidon from Greek mythology like a lot of what the fandom is choosing to believe. But actually, it is the sea god of Norse mythology, Njord. Njord was a Nordic god who hailed from one of the three god tribes, the Vanir tribe in Norse mythology. It would make sense if this was Njord, because the Vanir in Norse mythology are more connected with nature and spirits. And we know that the elemental spirits have connections to divine powers. Bel allows Yuno power from Greek wind gods, and has even stated that the fire spirit has divine power. I wonder what fire gods will be tied to the salamander. Maybe Surtur? Who knows? But Njord, like Poseidon, actually fits the description of the god in Black Clover, being a large-sized bearded male with a trident. There are some depictions of Njord with a sword, but also some with a trident as well. It can go either way. But the reason I think this could be the Norse sea deity is because of his possible connection with Asier, whom is also connected to Norse mythology because she is a Valkyrie. Valkyrie are the lesser deities of Norse mythology that are warrior women that guide the slain of the battlefield to the afterlives of glory. I think that Tabata is being smart here by naming Asier, Asier, because Asier would be a double effect for her naming convention. This because she has steel magic attribute, and Asier means steel in a different language. And in Norse mythology, almost all the Valkyrie are named after different aspects of battle. Steel was the most common material used in war at the time of Scandinavian worship of the North mythos. The name actually fits for her being an actual Valkyrie, because steel is used for weapons. Valkyrie were often named after weapons or aspects of battle. If Asier got busy with the sea god, it would make far more sense for it to be the Norse one rather than a Greek one. It was common for the Valkyrie to sleep with the Nordic gods in the mythology and produce immensely powerful offspring that changed humanity and Asgard. We know that Undyne should have access to divine powers like what I said Bel does for Yuno, and thus she should be connected to the sea god. When she creates warrior spells, they fit a similar aesthetic to that of the Valkyrie armor, which might further tie the knot of everything together, especially because even that of steel magic should be a derivative of both the water and earth elements. Finally, Noelle, being a demi-goddess, fits the themes and symbolism of the dynamic between the Light Triad. Yuno's elven soul being a hybrid, Asta having plenty of evidence being a devil hybrid, and Noelle possibly being a human-god hybrid. All three of them using god powers from different pantheons. Yuno using the Greek winds from Greek mythology, Zephyr and Boreas, which are two of the four Greek wind gods. We know that he will get 2 more wings for a total of 4 wings because Bel has 4 wings. So this means that he should get the other gods of the Greek winds, and maybe he will surpass those 4 and become the king of the 4 Greek winds, Aeolus. And I say that Asta is using gods because devils are gods. Lucifero is stated to be an evil god, and he is the devil of gravity, like how Magicula is called the father of curses. Father often being used for gods because they spawned humanity, often what they are called Sky Fathers or Sky Daddies. Asta uses Libe's power, who is a devil likely of an actual high rank because of him having a similar appearance to all of the other high rank devils. So, you have the Light Triad, 3 hybrids, 3 connections to different gods of 3 different pantheons: the Abrahamic mythologies, Norse mythology, and Greek mythology. The Light Triad versus the Dark Triad. I am very excited for what's to come next in Black Clover. It is even possible that Noelle, her grimoire of 3 leaves, Clover, will actually transform into a 6-leaf Clover grimoire. But I am going to save that for a different video and talk about the possibilities of 6-leaf Clover grimoires in Black Clover for a completely different video. I think it's a video that really does deserve own topic. I just want to reiterate that this just seems to be the only way to explain things. Like, she's 17, really has only been training and developing her magic for the last 2 years with the Black Bulls, and yet she's stronger than Solid, Nebra, Noelle, who are all also royals, and yet she surpassed them, and then also has seemingly surpassed Osier. Now, I bring up her seemingly surpassing Osier is because Osier fought Vanica. Now, Vanica, this was years ago, and we know that just in the 6-month time skip, she got much stronger. So, the Vanica that Osier fought is nothing compared to the Vanica that Noelle fought. But it would make sense if this is the case, because 1, she doesn't look like her other siblings. She looks kind of similar, but not that similar compared to what she should look like. How Solid, Nebra, and Noelle, they look like complete, brothers and sisters. Noelle looks like a half-brother, half-sister relationship. She doesn't have the wavy hair on top like Papa Silva and then Papa Silva's children. Because of that, I think Noelle will get access to a hybrid state, or at least she will get access to powers from the sea god. Maybe she's not the actual child. Maybe she actually is just going to be like a champion for him, so that the sea god can incarnate its power into her. So that is my theory, that Noelle is actually the daughter of the Norse god of the sea, Njord, and that she is a demigoddess by that nature. So I think that her ultimate magic will unlock a completely different aspect to her, that of the hybrid state, something similar to what Charmy did. If mana is tied to the soul, then using ultimate magic to enhance that soul, she could unlock that second magic type that hybrids can have, and then access that hybrid state. Let me know your thoughts of this theory down below. I thought it's a pretty good one, but let me know your thoughts. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to also turn on notifications and join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to check out my link down below for NordVPN. Use code Broku. That would be very much appreciated. With that being said, hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...